Hello and welcome back to the channel. Now I know it's been a little while since I last posted and I apologise for that. However, now we've got some really good information and gameplay from Forza Horizon 6. So today I'd like to do a bit of a dive into a comparison between Forza Horizon 5 and what we've seen of Forza Horizon 6, which I'm expecting to be the best in the series. So without further ado, let's get stuck in. Now I want to start off by talking about the setting, environment and the world. Now Forza Horizon 5 was obviously set in a fictionalized Mexico. It gave us around 11 different biomes across various deserts, jungles, the volcano, colonial towns and a couple of small cities as well. It was of course quite vibrant and colourful, very diverse between its biomes and lots of smooth transitions between each biome. It was a decent map, however it was definitely not the best in the Horizon series in my humble opinion. Some of you might differ in that, however to me it just wasn't the best. There was a lot of open space that could have been utilised a bit better I think. It was great for off-roading, if you like that, travelling between different biomes and locations. However, I think it could have been a bit denser and there could have been a lot more detail included. Now we're moving over to Horizon 6 where it's going to be set in Japan, and obviously not just any Japan. It looks like it's going to be the biggest and densest map yet. So we're going to include obviously urban Tokyo, Mount Fuji's alpine roads, some coastal highways, rice fields and bamboo forests. It's all what we've seen so far in the main teaser and all the gameplay that we've seen. Now what we do know is that Tokyo alone is 5 times larger than any previous Horizon city, which is great to hear. Now a lot of people I've seen in various videos saying that the map is 5 times bigger. It's not, it's the city of Tokyo. So imagine Guanajuato from Horizon 5 or Edinburgh from Horizon 4 and just multiply that by 5 on the scale of things and you just know that Tokyo is going to be absolutely huge, hopefully packed with lots of traffic. There's obviously going to be verticality in there and even lots of neon lights and signage, so it's going to feel like the real deal, which is great to see. Weather as well looks like it's going to be regional depending on which location you're in, but we'll touch on that a little bit later on. And while we're talking about maps and sizes of them, Forza Horizon 5, Mexico was still a very big map, so it's around 107 square kilometers, which as I said before, most of it was quite sort of horizontal, so it was perfect for off-roading and high-speed runs, but there was very limited elevation, only really with the volcano area, some of the sand dunes and a couple of the sort of jungly areas. Horizon 6, however, Japan's map looks like it will be larger, but more importantly, denser. And as well, touching on the elevation side of things, Mount Fuji looks like it's going to bring in a lot of real elevation with the 2-gauge style switchbacks and then a lot of the height and elevation there as well. Tokyo looks to add lots of alleyways, various rooftops and stuff, multi-level highways as of course the expressway will have, and then exploration again will be hopefully a lot more denser, so it looks like we're going to see a lot of hidden shrines and again collectibles as we used to have in Horizon 5. Now along with these maps of course comes weather and seasons. So in Horizon 5 the global seasons rotated weekly as we all know. Spring brought plenty of rain, summer brought plenty of light and heat, autumn there were plenty of leaves around, and in the winter there was a sprinkling of snow on the volcano. There were of course dust storms and tropical storms which added a bit of flair, but they were mostly scripted. Now looking at Horizon 6, it looks like the weather's going to be a lot more dynamic and localised. For example, fog can possibly roll in mid-race when you're on Fuji, cherry blossom storms swirl in the spring in certain locations, and snow will affect your traction, probably in more high altitude zones. And looking at some of it, dense fog as well as heavy rain, possibly typhoons, I don't know. Either way, what I do know is when these weather events kick in, of course the race conditions will completely change, so your last race won't be the same as your next race. Puddles might form in various different locations, wind potentially might affect your handling, I don't know, that might be asking a bit too much. However, it does look really good and a lot more diverse than what we've seen before. Now another big one is the campaign and progression. So Forza Horizon 5 had of course the Horizon Adventure, which allowed you to unlock story chapters to complete, to unlock accolades and eventually move on to the Hall of Fame. It was quite flexible, but it really did lack any sort of strong narrative. There weren't many memorable characters. It did try to engage with the Mexican culture, which was really good to see. However, I just don't think it was a solid campaign in all reality. Great racing game, but not a lot of story to it. Forza Horizon 6, on the other hand, looks to be going back to the old days of Forza Horizon 1 and 2, which had the wristband system. So you'll start off as a tourist, probably just come over there, and then as you start racing, you'll earn wristbands to unlock different regions potentially, and hopefully each region then has its own challenges and cultures. The goal at the end of it though, unlike Horizon 5, which didn't really have an end game, is to unlock Legend Island, which is an elite endgame zone with various time trials, exclusive races and rewards. So it feels like it's going to be a lot more structured, a lot more of a grind, which they did try to do in the last Forza Motorsport game, because that's obviously what a lot of people had asked for. So that would be really good to see here. Now, the only other thing to note is, of course, if you order the premium edition with a VIP package, you will probably unlock a lot of high-end cars at the very start of the game. You'll get double XP, triple credits, etc. So just something to be wary of. I'm not sure if that will ruin the sort of immersion of the grind aspect of it. Most people will probably get that addition. However, hopefully that doesn't ruin it enough that you just feel like you've got handed everything on a golden platter at the start of the game, which would be a little bit disappointing, I think. Now moving on to the biggest aspect, which is of course the vehicle roster and driving aspects of the games. This is what makes the Horizon series what it is. So Horizon 5 at launch contained 500 cars. Most of them were just generic ones that had been copied and pasted from previous games, which was a little bit disappointing. They didn't focus too much on sort of South American side or Mexican side of things. AI traffic again was the exact same. They reused a lot of AI cars from Forza Horizon 4, so it looked like they basically been plonked off of European roads into the Mexican sort of backdrop, which again, like I said, was a bit disappointing. Horizon 6 on the other hand will contain 550 cars at launch, which is of course 50 more. It also looks like it's going to heavily focus on various Japanese legends, which makes a lot of sense. Japanese manufacturers, JDM legends, etc. Especially with the cover car being the Toyota GR-GT prototype, and in the backdrop there's the Toyota Land Cruiser J250 as well. So that looks really good to see. There is a part of the roster up on the Forza Net website. There's about 93 cars already shown, and of course you can pluck out a few more from the trailer as well, in which you can see it's very heavily orientated towards the Japanese side of things, which is as it should be. It's the exact same with the AI traffic. We've already seen in the trailers a lot of K cars and Japanese legends that are driving around, which is great because it makes it feel like it should be. You know, it makes the map feel a bit more complete and lived in and realistic as well. Moving on to the handling side of things, of course Horizon 5 was quite arcade heavy. It was again pretty much a repetition of Horizon 4. Not a lot seemed to have changed, whereas what we've seen and been told so far about Horizon 6, it looks like we're going to be getting a bit of an overhaul on how things work. So the drift handling looks like it's going to be a bit tighter. Wet roads affect grip. Of course tyres, they showed in there that the more you use the same car, the more tyre wear you're going to have, so that will affect your grip and how well you obviously do in races. So that's something to take into account. Off-road terraform and terrain, it deforms under tyres, so that looks really good. Again, there was a lot of off-road in Horizon 5, but it didn't really feel too different. Every now and again you'd hit a deep puddle and that would affect how things are going in the race, but besides from that, not a lot. So hopefully that's improved a lot in Horizon 6. Another big one now is customization and creation. So starting off with the creation side of things, all you really had was Event Lab. Now that introduced custom races, so you could create your own race, create your own sort of layout, which was a massive change in the series and was really, really fun. It added a new layer to the game. That's of course been massively overhauled again in Horizon 6, so you'll be able to alter things within a race, create your own one. So multi-stage races, you could probably tweak the AI a bit, dynamic weather maybe and stuff like that, a lot more props and ability to move them around with freedom as well. So that looks great. Customization side of things, Horizon 5, the livery editor was of course solid, but it was limited as it was in the previous games, and there was no sort of garage customization or anything like that. The cars had the same sort of body kits, a few more Liberty Walk ones for example were added in. Forza Aero stayed the same front bumper / splitter and rear spoiler that was always a bit daft, and as well as that, just additional tuning. Wheels, some new wheels were added in, however it wasn't a massive improvement from Horizon 4. Whereas in Horizon 6, it looks like we're going to be completely overhauling that again. So livery editor now supports image tracing. There's going to be more layers, better resolution. Of course, window stickers are a new add-on. It looks like the Forza aero parts have been overhauled. Additional body kits to fit in with the region, which is great to see. And as well as that, a garage builder. Now we of course saw that you start off with a flat piece of land and you can then build upon it, create your own garage, invite your friends over to see it, display your cars, decorate it however you feel free to. So it feels like almost it's taken over the baton from where Test Drive Unlimited 2 kind of left off. As we all know, the last Test Drive Unlimited kind of dropped a clanger there and it didn't really work too well. Character customization hasn't really been spoken about in Horizon 6, however I imagine it will include a lot of sort of Japanese fashion motorsport gear. Emotes will probably be back again, which seemed a little bit pointless before, but there you go. So hopefully in Horizon 6 we'll see a lot more in-depth customization. It's great to see things like garage customization and being able to build upon that. It just does add a new layer into a racing game, which kind of, you know, like I said, brings it back to that Test Drive Unlimited feel, which is great to see. It's something we've been missing for a long time, and I think it is a really good feature if most people potentially don't. Now, multiplayer and the social aspects, again, Horizon 5, it did build upon what we had before, but I don't think it was really incredible. You of course had your general Horizon arcade and games modes, and the Eliminator was added in as well, which was fun for a while, but it did get a bit tedious and boring, I believe, or I think after a little while. Car meets you could still do, but they were a bit static. They weren't really like the car meet garages in Horizon 3, and clubs were still there, but of course very limited in what you can do. Now in Horizon 6, it looks like they're introducing Street Culture mode, which introduces rep-based online progression, Car Meet 2.0, the live hubs where you can do tuning battles, photo contests and drift showcases. You can buy other people's liveries or designs, or even buy the car that they're in if you like it that much. Clubs are going to return as well, with shared garages and team challenges, global leaderboards, and you can invite friends over to your garages to check out your designs and what cars you've got on display. Convoys are apparently a lot smoother with more persistent group events, which is great to see. Finally, we're just going to touch on the audio side of things. Now in Horizon 5, the engine sounds were pretty solid, however again they were just a copy and paste for the most part of Horizon 4. They did tweak things where exhaust notes would change depending on what modifications you did with tuning, which was a decent leap from Horizon 5, but besides from that most of the cars just sound the same. Ambient audio was there, so background noises, but it was quite subtle and it didn't really stand out at all really. Horizon 6 though, again from what we've seen and heard, seems to have changed that a bit. So for example, the scene with the Toyota in the tunnel, the acoustics seem to have changed. It seems a lot more crisper and clearer, a bit sharper, so that's great to see. And like I said, here wildlife sounds look like they're going to vary from region to region, so different animals you might hear, maybe things like vending machines just making a bit of background humming noises. Festival music will pulse again, and cities should feel a bit more alive, which is really good to see and hear about as well. Now all in all, Forza Horizon 5 was a great game. It was a celebration of Mexican culture, scale as well, and how they could push the bounds on the sides of the map. Whereas Horizon 6 looks like it's going to be a real celebration of culture and Japan and detail and the evolution of where the Horizon games have come from to where they are today, which is really great. Forza Horizon 6, to be honest, looks like it's going to be the most complete and biggest Horizon yet, so I can't wait to get stuck into it. I'm sure you guys are feeling the same as well. Please do let me know your thoughts and opinions on what you've seen so far in Horizon 6. Also, was this a good comparison? There is probably some things that I've missed out, of course, but let me know down below in the comments what you think Horizon 6 is shaping up to be and how excited you are for it as well. But apart from that, folks, I want to thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy, don't forget to drop a like, and if you're new to the channel, subscribing massively helps me out as well. But apart from that, I want to thank you very much for watching. Make sure you stay safe and take care.